Oh man, hey Outliers, Niyama Sean here. This is the this I'm checking all around to make sure that I'm not on mute this time around. I have had we had an awesome conversation yesterday, an hour long conversation, and it wasn't until minute 41 that I realized that my main microphone was on mute. And I share that here because that is actually really relevant to the topic at hand. I'm laughing because I'm like, wow, this is actually the reason why this is happening, or at least one of them. Uh, I'm calling this one. I'm done doing this thing on my own. I'm done doing this on my own. And the reason for this here, I think that example of yesterday where I went 60 minutes into the live stream or 40 minutes into the live stream without realizing that I was on mute is a key of it. And I came into this conversation here. The first couple of seconds was I was also muted. I'm still like kind of checking. I'm like, is it actually on? And the reason for this, the thing behind it wasn't about the thing about it for me was like, how did this become possible? It wasn't that it happened. Like think like oftentimes these things happen. And yesterday's live stream, like I had all my notes. I went in it. It was banging. It was about the success traps and how to use play to allow you to circumvent that trap. It was amazing. I have to do it again though, which is cool. Like I get it. Like it happens. But what I realized is that part of like I asked myself why did it happen and what would have made it not happen, and I realized that like it wasn't about me checking over and over and over again to make sure that my mic was undone. What occurred to me is that for 40 minutes, like there was no one who watched this that came in and like made a note and said, hey, we can't hear you. That's happened sometimes, right? For 40 minutes there was no one on my team that was able to go through and be like, hey, the live stream isn't coming through properly, right? And so what I really realized there was that like I'm doing this on my own. I'm doing this on my own, and like there's a lot that I'm able to do, which is the problem, right? As an outlier, we're able to get a lot of things accomplished. We are very good at learning new things. We are extremely like we're multi-dimensional and multi-hyphenated. So especially as entrepreneurs, we're able to run every single part of our business from marketing to sales to delivery to like whatever is necessary. We just get it done. And if we don't know how to do it, we'll learn how to do it. But the thing about this year, and I'm realizing for myself, is like, it's time. It's time. I'm over it, is really it. I'm over it. And I wanted to come into this space and share that. But that's not the only reason I wanted to come in this space. I'm going to start with sharing that. But I want to also like give you a chance to look at this. Oh, all right. Let me tell you what actually showed up. So yesterday that happened. It was very frustrating to find out that like, I talked for 40 minutes and no one heard anything. Right. Uh, but then then it occurred to me, I'm like, well, then no one was watching it, which is fine. I understand that like most people are going to actually watch this on the replays, and I still have to do more to publicize and let people know it's going live, right? Even now I just realized I didn't let people know inside of the Outliers at school group. So like there's things that I can do, the things I will be doing going forward uh differently. But part of what is happening is that there's a I'm recognizing that there's so many different balls that I like plates that I'm spinning right now and balls that I'm juggling that I am I'm saying that I'm trying to maximize results, but I'm actually really still caught optimizing. So let me look at the difference between that maximizing and optimizing to me. So maximizing is how can I just get the most from things, and optimizing is uh, how can I get the most from the least? Or another way of saying, like, given this situation, how can I get the most from it? Right. And I think that, like, what I didn't realize until literally this morning, actually, was that underneath every single question I was asking myself, my coaches, my peer groups, my ChatGPT, like my AI support, like all those things were all based on given that it's just me. Right? I have another member who helps me on the team, but like we're asynchronous, like very, very much so. But given that it's just me here, what is the best use of my time? What's the best lever to pull? And that was embedded in every single question that I was asking. That was the constraint that was consistently in the conversation, even when I didn't say it. And it was also the constraint that people were listening to what I was saying from. So when I described doing having a time where I had podcasts, where I was doing 15 podcasts a week, we were getting out we were releasing seven of them a day. There's a live stream I'll have in the future of like what I learned from doing 400 podcasts in what is it like I don't know, about a year, something like that. Like that, there's something to come from that. But what ended up happening is every time I would tell people I'm doing this, the people would get like they would get overwhelmed. They're like, that's just so much, man. And then they would constantly try and help me try and get like leverage. They're like, well, what if you just did one and it was just so good? And like it was always that kind of stuff. And I got really bored with it because I'm like I knew that there was something off about it. And what I realized is off is that they were seeing me not as the outlier as I am, or maybe even recognizing the outlier, but they were seeing me not in the vision of what I was holding, but they were seeing me as just a person. Like, oh, you only have this many hours. You can only do this many things. Why are you spending your time in that way? You should be able to get more and more leverage. And what was missing there was the conversation of like, all right, so how do we? I love this thing. I know how much you can do on your own. How do we create it so you don't have to do this much on your own? Or even better, how do we make it so that like, great, you can do 3 days a week of 5 podcast panels with 6 people each on it. Like I was meeting 90 people every single week through this, right? And then on the off days, I was doing group coaching sessions for people who had just come into that room, and we were doing like 1-on-4. So I was, I was, I was cranking, right? The thing that I wasn't doing though was continuing to nurture the relationships afterwards. I wasn't following up. I wasn't building a relationship, and I also didn't have time on my calendar set aside to go and enroll people afterwards. So actually have conversations to have them come and work with me. I just kind of figured that if they had those two experiences, they would just want to continue on naturally. This you live and you learn, right? But the going back to the conversations I have with people, like instead of like people were like shying back or trying to help me get leverage, but no one asked and said, yeah, but that's cool. Like, how do we help you to be able to get 5 days a week, having 6 people on? Like no one tried to expand the vision with me. It was always about like, and it was very well intentioned, but like it was always about constricting or like staying within the confines of what I had, which was just my own personal output, rather than like thinking about like what like no one asked ever like. Oh, so you're gonna get like additional facilitators to come help you like host these sessions, like just never showed up, right? And so for a while, I realized that like every single part of my paradigm has been, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this, and that like I'll be honest, if I'm being real, like it led to a lot of resentment. It led to a lot of like frustration. Like there were really good ideas that I was just like, I can't do it, right? And it wasn't that the business couldn't do it; it was that I couldn't do it. I didn't have the time to do it, and like if I did that one thing, it was going to take me away from doing something else. And so I kept coming back over and over again to this constraint, but I didn't see it, y'all. I didn't see it. Like realistically, like even now on my calendar, I have on the calendar every day for a block to do these live conversations every day. I love doing them. It's a great opportunity for me to meet new people, to be with you all, to process out loud, but at the same time document what's happening. Like it's one of my favorite like things to do. And y'all don't know the amount of time I had to go like try like okay, like in my mind I want to do 3 hours a day. And I'm like trying to maximize for 3 hours a day where I'm like, I can't talk alone for 3 hours a day. How do I get other people on? And then I have to go do this stuff. Like the list just grew essentially. And it occurred to me earlier today that I'm like, oh, almost every single one of my questions with this was not how do I hold a live stream or what do I do for 3 hours? It was given that I have these other 26 things to do, like how much time can I put into the live stream? How do I maximize the time that I'm putting in? How do I get more people in for that? And all of that was still based with this underlying hidden premise of like, given that it's only me, you know. Let me check in with you here as you're watching this, as you're watching this, as you're listening to this here. Go ahead and put into the comments in the chats. I want you to think for yourself, like, where else? What's the hidden constraint of your life? What's the underlying? What's the hidden rule? And like that is like actually the context in which all your decisions are being made, or at least many of your decisions. For me, it was given that I'm the only one who can, or given that I'm the only one who is, everything else. How do I maximize this? How do I hit my revenue goals? What's my word of the year be? Like all of that. And so I'm recognizing that that was the actual constraint. And I actually spent a lot of time. I wasn't sure I was going to come on live or not right now because I realized once I realized it, I'm like, oh, I have to go. And it's like this happens nowadays. I'm like, oh, I can see all the different work that he's happened. If you're listening to this, I just put like my fingers on my temple and like and lean forward because I was like, oh, this is going to be work. But I think that feeling, that's a newer feeling for me. That happened in the last 2 3 years when I stopped taking on team, when I stopped building out my team, when I stopped hiring other people to come and help me, and I started taking it all on my own. And so I see this here, and it feels really really awesome. Like Vicky, I see you too. I want to make sure I say aloha and hello to you. Vicky, I think about you often. You came to my world, and you came in there with some goals, and you brought on and you showed like what it's like to have team in like working with you. Actually, I remember this conversation, Vicky. So Vicky is an amazing individual. Vicky, like if you can put in the chat like some of the things that you're up to right now, I want to make sure we can share that with outliers who are watching. But Vic is an amazing individual, and I remember going to him back in it was had to be 5 years ago now at least, longer actually longer than that. But I said to him, "Hey man, I'm really excited. I'm bringing on someone on my team, and she's amazing. I'm paying her really well. We're gonna get all these things together. She's so prepared." Da, 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 da. And I remember Vicky looked at me. He's like, good job, man. Really excited for you. And like, just be aware that most of the times when we think we're going to get one person that's going to be like the person who's going to solve all our problems, it doesn't work out that way. And Vicky, I don't know if I ever followed up with you, but like, it didn't work out that way. I spent a lot of money, learned a lot through it, but like, it was the wrong person for the wrong time. Just way too skilled for what I needed to get done. And so I oh, Vicky, this is fantastic. So Vicky right now, I'm going to put this on here so everyone gets a chance to see here. But Vicky's from the CEO of the Speaker Society in Singapore, right? So we will have that conversation, Vicky. Let's make some time for that. All right. But congratulations on that. That's really well done. That's really well created. And so I'm going to go back to this year and get this space out here where it's like I think part of that burned me in the past, I'm like a part of that burned me in the past where I was like, oh, I want to keep hiring people. I want to have people help me build it, but I didn't know what needed to get built and so on and so forth. And so eventually in 2023, when I was really taking a look at my business, I said, my expenses are too high. The things are not solid enough, and I need to actually create more. I miss Singapore too, Vicky, but I needed to create more space in my just basically in my business, right? And I started at that point saying, okay, it's going to be on me. And I like now it's been 2 3 years since I started doing that there. I have one person on the team who's been really helpful to make sure that we get all this stuff out to people. But other than that, it's I've been juggling. And what's coming on for me right now as I talk about this, and I'm going to start wrapping up the conversation because I have a question that always goes in the back of my mind, which is like, am I actually serving right now or am I avoiding? Am I am I serving or am I avoiding? I think part of what's come to me is like I need to spend some time um, looking at what is the org chart, what needs to be built inside of this business from a team perspective to actually execute on all this. But I remember. Let's see if I want to go down that road anymore. The thing for me became I have in my gut, I know that this is the right move to do. It feels scary because I haven't seen all the evidence I want to see yet for having a team. I don't have everything lined up. I don't have everything documented the way I want it to be documented, the way that I feel like people say it should be. Like I'm in building mode, and I'm like, all right, can I bring on someone else to help build with me, or do I have to build it and then like offload what I've been doing and say this, like you take this and you run with it. I can see the merits in both of them. I think that I have a feeling I'll be dancing between the two of them. But right now, more than anything else, I think I just need people that I can rely on, people to build this with me. I'm very clear of what needs to get done and how it needs to get done. And I've had examples of doing this. I wonder if this is the same for you all out there, or like, where it's like, as an outlier, you've done all the stuff. You're like, you can make it all work on its own. But now it's time about bringing it all together. And so I want to come in this space. I, I share what's happening in real time because I also want to document like what it's like on the inside, right? Like you're gonna see one day things are going to look different when it comes to the business, or um, I don't know. You may not even see me leading these sessions. I may be able to bring in other people, and I want to make sure that I'm capturing in real time what it's like on the inside, to document that, and make this real. Because the game here with Outliers, as I learn more and more and more, is that it's less about me teaching anything, and more about us having a platform to share about the journeys that we're actually going through, so we can inspire, so we can transform, so we can unlock and unleash each of us. Right. And so this is me right now. We can timestamp this on January 23rd, 2026. Like I'm looking forward to coming back to this and saying like, oh, that Niyama, he didn't know how good it was about to be. But I wanted to make sure I came out here and shared it, and really just declare like I'm done doing this on my own. And like my ask here as we leave in this conversation is to like see, like, put a message into the chat. Where in your world are you ready to to draw the line in the sand? What's something that you've been doing, that you've been tolerating, that you've been letting, that has been a hidden constraint in your life, where it's time to just draw the line and be like, going forward, like, this is it. This is my choice. This is what I declared. This is how I'm moving. Right. Let's put that in there, and we'll wrap up for today. And if you want a place to go and explore that, go and go dive deeper into it, and have other people who are playing a high level game come in and support you, or to challenge you, or to help you see it from different perspectives, you should come join us inside of the Outliers Edge community. It's a free community to come and join, and start off with us in there. You get invited to come be on these calls live, and we'll just keep working and growing with one another. All right. Uh, Put in anything else you want into the chat. We're going to wrap up this conversation here. But I just really, 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 really appreciate you. All right. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later. Be well, y'all.